I'm bothering the cat. Hope your meditation was good. It's an interesting topic, power, isn't it? And it's interesting how some people seem to have so much of this stuff called power, and so many people seem to have so little of it. And it's interesting how sometimes in our life we are in absolute powerlessness, and sometimes in our life we seem to demonstrate and display a good deal of power. So it feels to me like there's much to learn and much to be revealed with this topic, and for good as well. So a great yogi once said, there are 5 watt people and million-watt people. It's a funny analogy, as if humans were light bulbs and some were very teeny ones, 5 watt light bulbs, and others were million-watt light bulbs. They shine so brightly in the world. And there's an interesting many interesting lines in scripture that says, once we undergo a spiritual transformation, our light is not to be hid in the world. A torch does not get lit to have a bag put over the top, and we're intended to become a city on the hill. What does that mean, a city on the hill? When you're down in the plains of desperation and depression and diminished life, what you can see from afar off is a city on a hill. So this great power is certainly intended to move in and through us. But I guess the variable is the degree to which we let great power operate in and through us. What is it about ourselves that would limit this great power? And also another good question is, why is it that it seems sometimes on this planet right now, there are those who seem to employ or have great power, and how come they have it and they're using their power for, quote, bad things, unquote? Well, it might be important to differentiate the difference between true power with a capital T and a capital P, the power of the one, and then what we might call leverage. Leverage is the ability to use force or self-will. And there are times when humans can gather a great deal of leverage on other people and utilize it for negative purposes, but that's not power. And people who do gather that kind of leverage or force, we note that it's always temporary, it always dissipates. Even some of the greatest, how shall we say, tyrants of all time have gathered great leverage, and yet it was always squandered at the end because it was a misuse of power. So there's a strong intimation, advocation that we're meant to use power properly. And when we do, we get more and more of the power. It's not leverage that we use on people. It's we employ and we align with great power. So what is it that actually limits our own access to this great power? How come we're not necessarily shining at 1,000,000 watts? How come we run into problems over and over and over again? Well, clearly problems and challenges, as discussed yesterday, are our opportunity to find where we're misusing power, where we've learned or been educated or we've been practicing some sort of thought, feeling, behavior, or we simply haven't learned yet how to deal with the situation and allow power to move in and through us. When that happens, we run into what's called a problem, a dilemma, a situation, a constraint, a constriction in our life, and then that's the opportunity to learn how to have power move in and through us, or if we don't learn that, how to employ force or will more, or try to get more leverage, how to step on the toes of others more efficiently, and to try to avoid them stepping on our toes. And then everybody becomes a little personal dictator running around the planet, trying to use their individual leverage. And then you have something called Earth. But there are those of us who generally through, if not humility, through humiliation and getting our brains kicked in, begin to learn that great power is available to us if we cooperate, if we align. And of course, that means a long and patient season of cleaning up our thinking, our actions, our intentions, and our behavior, as we do that slowly and patiently, we do get more and more of this power. And oftentimes, the power that we do have is often we feel it in the emotions that we have. If we're rife with depression, anger, fear, worry, rage, resentment, jealousy, we're taking great power, and our own individual nervous system is shaping it in to those emotions. We're getting great power. We're just turning it into technical word crap, so to speak. And no one else can change that for us but us. And oftentimes we assign the blame for our emotions on other people. But of course, that type of victimhood only leads to less and less power. So, congratulations on being one who's examining power, how you use it, how much could be available to all of us, and how we can begin this very week to find the biggest problem in our life and ask and seek how to apply power to it, that we might have the biggest breakthrough of our life so far. That would be powerful. Hope you find the topic stimulating. I'll see you tomorrow.